Hello, everyone. How are you doing? My name is Daniel Rose. I'm the director of the undergraduate social work program here at UNC Greensboro. You've probably seen me in other videos. So I wanted to kind of walk students through degree works a little bit. I've been getting questions, especially around advising registration period, where students are kind of confused, especially new students are kind of confused on trying to figure out what classes that they need to take. So I've done a couple of videos on how to search for classes and, like if you're looking for a general education course or a social work course, how to go through that process. But what I'm finding is students become a little confused in actually knowing what they need to take. And so students will send me emails like, well, do I need a literature class, or do I need a certain liberal arts class or a general fine arts class, or just unsure what classes they need. And I think part of this is because it's, especially if it's a new system for you, you're unfamiliar with degree works. And so I'm going to kind of walk you through degree works a little bit. And it really kind of explains everything you need to know. And I want to kind of show a couple of aspects of degree works that are really important for you to try to follow. One of them is being the amount of hours you need to graduate. And the other is the amount of hours that you are currently enrolled in and have completed. Because I will often have students come up in the final semester and they will be maybe 1, 2, or 3 credits short. And they're kind of unclear how this happened, because degree works can be a little confusing because it'll have all these little check marks. So what I want to do is I'm going to bring up, I have a degree works that's up that is not an actual student. This is a student, kind of a mock student that's supposed to have like a degree in pre-human development family studies. So this is not a real student. So we're not giving away any information. So what I would like to do is start off by trying to guide students on how to get to degree works to begin with. So what you will need to do, as you'll see here, is we have the UNCG website, and there's the 4 circles up here, and this is UNC Genie. So you will need to click that and then enter the secure area. And then you enter your UNCG ID number and your PIN number, and then you click login. Mine's a little bit different than yours because I'm a faculty person, but what will happen is you will see an area right here that says Student Services and Financial Aid. So when you click that, you will come up to Student Records. And so you're going to click Student Records, and then there'll be an area for degree works. And then when you click degree works, your degree work should start to pop up. Mine is a little bit different because as a faculty person, I can look up anybody's degree works. So we're going to have this student, it's Davis, data, something, something. So as you can see, the major is pre-human developed family studies. So we're not pre-human developed family studies. So I'm going to kind of show you a couple things that you can do to walk through degree works to give you a little bit of an understanding. Right here, and you look to the left, you see worksheets, history, and then there's a what if analysis. This is really good if you are a transfer student and I have sent a request at the registrar's office for your major to be updated and it hasn't been updated yet. Because of the coronavirus, the registrar's office has been a little bit slower. It usually takes about a week after I send a request to the registrar's office, but they've done pretty well, but usually about a week or 2. So if you're needing to kind of navigate through degree works and you have just changed your major, then the what if analysis is a really good option for you. What if analysis is also a good option if you're thinking about including a minor, and I will show you a minor as an example. So right here, you're going to pick the catalog year, which for most of you is going to be 2019, 2020. You're going to pick the program, which will be BSW. For those students who are already social work students, it's going to be a BSW anyway, so it doesn't matter. And I'm going to pick a minor here because if you're interested in declaring a minor, you can come over here to the right side and you can choose a minor. So even if your degree works shows social work, you can do the process what if, and if you're interested in doing a minor. Some minors are very simple. Peace and conflict studies, it gives you a lot of flexibility. Some of our students like human development family studies as a minor, and it's a little bit more guided. So I'm going to pick human development family studies. There it goes. So once you've got that picked, you're going to click this process what if. And so once you click that, give it a few seconds, what's going to come up is everything that you're going to need to know to navigate your educational experience while you're UNC Greensboro. If you are a transfer student with an associate's degree in arts from a community college, then this top part right here, where it says the general education core, is actually going to be collapsed. You're not going to see that because of the articulation agreement with community colleges. If you transfer in with an associate's degree, you don't have to worry about the general education courses. But if you come in with an associate's degree in human services or associates of applied science, or you're transferring from another college university, you will have this showing. And so it'll have the full coursework that you need to complete. So things that are really important for students with DegreeWorks. Academic standing is really important. It'll give you kind of an idea of where your academic standing is. If your GPA is kind of dropped below a 2.0, it'll tell you you're on academic probation. Right over here where it says holds, if you owe money at the university, there will be a hold on your account and it'll tell you what the hold is. Your advisor will be listed right here. Generally, it will be me or Professor Thal, but it may be another advisor. We will be working towards disseminating advisors in a more kind of equitable fashion. But right now, me and Professor Thal are usually the primary advisors. If you're a school social work student, then Professor Beth Webb will be your advisor. And then the classification will tell you you're freshman. And this becomes really frustrating for students because the classification for freshmen is 0 to 30 hours. Classification for sophomore is around 31 to 60 hours. So you will have something that'll say freshman 1, freshman 2, freshman 3, sophomore 1, sophomore 2, sophomore 3, and it may not correspond with the actual number of hours that you have. I think this is generally, I have yet to find any information on why they do this, but I think this is really based on when you register for courses. So they have to break it down over periods of time so the system doesn't get overloaded. So you may be a sophomore 2, and a sophomore 1 may register, their registration window may open up a couple of days before yours does. The really important thing is, of course, the major should be social work. If your degree work shows pre-social work, I would like for you to let us know that. We're trying to get away from the pre-designation that creates some complications for us when we're trying to do what is called curriculum modifications or waivers for me to count one course towards another course. So most students don't have pre-social work, but if you come in as a freshman or if you come in as a transfer student and you declare social work, they may put you down as a pre-social work major. Just shoot me an email, and if I get a chance to, I'll try to work on that. The only concentration you will have is if you are a school social work student. So if you're working for your school social work licensure, it'll say concentration. If you are not that, then you will not have a concentration. And of course, we picked minors, human development family studies, and it'll have your minor. It'll have your overall GPA listed right here. This overall GPA needs to be at least a 2.5 at a minimum to get into the social work major. So you want to monitor that GPA pretty closely. Right here on the right side, where it says semester hours required, it's 120 semester hours. Majority of you will need 120 semester hours to graduate. A handful of you may need 122, but at this point, it'll mostly be 120 to graduate. You really need to keep an eye on this. And right below that is the semester hours applied, which for this student shows 0. These are the hours that you have completed and are currently enrolled in. So if you look at this and you've completed, let's say 2 years, and you have 60 hours, and you are in the fall semester of your junior year, and you're taking 15 credit hours, then it will show 75 hours. So it will be the hours that you have completed and are currently enrolled in. Students will email me and ask me to calculate the hours that you need to graduate. I will not do that. That is your responsibility. That is part of your responsibility in taking ownership in your education. As I've said before in the other videos, we have 400 students. I don't have time to go down and calculate how many hours. It's basic mathematics. You need 120 hours to graduate. How many hours you have completed and currently enrolled in. You subtract that, divide it, figure out how many credit hours you need to take over each semester to graduate based on what your academic standing credit hours are at that time. So you need to keep an eye on that. And once again, I get emails at the January, senior year students will email me because they're at 118, 115. I don't know how this happened. And it's really not your fault, because as we look through DegreeWorks, kind of what happens is you look at these boxes and there's a legend to the left here, and it shows you complete as a check mark. So when you've completed 3 semester hours or 1 course, I'm highlighting this as a general literature course, what will happen is that little box right there will have a green check mark. That means you have completed the requirement for that course. If you are currently enrolled in a general literature course, if you look below that, it says for classes in progress. That means that you are currently taking that class. So a blue squiggly mark in this little line, in this little box left to general literature, if it's a blue squiggly line, that means that you're currently enrolled. If it's a green check mark, that means you have completed it. The T, of course, means it's a course that has transferred in. So you have to look really closely here. So general literature is under the humanities and fine arts. So you need 3 semester hours, 1 course in general literature. So that means when you're looking up courses under the categories and attributes, as I demonstrated in the earlier video, then the courses that are general literature courses are the ones that will meet this requirement, and you only need 1. You need 9 semester hours, which is 3 courses from either general literature, general fine arts, or general what's called philosophy and religion. So these letters get overwhelming after a while, but once you start to kind of get oriented towards this, and this is why I'm kind of doing this video, because I think students get intimidated by this, but you really need to orient yourself to this DegreeWorks. This DegreeWorks is your degree evaluation that's going to help you navigate your educational process throughout the rest of your time at UNCG. And as long as you stick to this DegreeWorks and follow it, you're going to be fine. You're going to complete the courses that you need to complete. So the 9 semester hours means you need 3 courses from a general literature, a general fine arts, or a general philosophy and religion. And it says right over here, still needs 3 classes. So, and then you move down a general historical perspective, a general mathematics course. You need 6 hours in natural science, 1 of which needs to be in the laboratory. And then the reason and discourse courses, and it'll tell you English 101 or whatever. You move down there and you need 2 writing intensive courses and 2 speaking intensive courses. And I've already touched on this on the advising video. You only really need 1 writing and 1 speaking intensive course from the general education requirement. Social work 3, let me look real quick. Social work 325, which is our research methods course, is a writing intensive course. And social work 351, which is our professional skills course, is a speaking intensive course. So that will meet the other requirements. So you only need 1 writing and 1 speaking intensive course at the general education requirement, and then you get the rest of them in the social work courses. Now, once again, if you come in with an Associates of Arts degree through an articulation agreement with the community college, the writing intensive, all this top part is going to be collapsed. For those of you who are transfer students who don't have an associate's degree or incoming freshman courses, students, you're going to see these courses. Now you move below the writing and speaking intensive and you see the general education global markers. These are courses that are mainly non-Western. So it'll say global non-Western perspective and then GL or GN, which is global or global non-Western. Once again, these are courses that kind of confuse students a little bit. Basically, you need to have one course that is a global non-Western course. Going back to the earlier video, looking up courses, you go to the categories and attributes, you type in GN, global non-Western, and those will be the global non-Western courses. And then you need one course, that doesn't make any sense, 2 plus perspective. They've changed this. I thought there were 3. You may just need 2 now, but you need a course that is either a GL or a GN. I often encourage students to look at things like when you're looking up a general literature course, maybe try to find a course that's also a GL or a GN course. This is a little bit different since I'm using this kind of fake degree works. Yours may look a little bit different with the GL and GNs, but generally this is what you need to look at to kind of get an idea of the general global and global non-Western courses. And then you get below that, and here are the social work courses. And so you, of course, need introduction to social work before you can get into 310, 311. And then you need 310, 311 before you get into 315, 325, and 351. These are not in sequential order. Once you get into your senior year, social work 411 is methods 1, social work 413 is field instruction 1, and social work 415 is seminar. So they'll be kind of out of order a little bit, where the others will be in order. And once again, once you complete all these courses, you'll start seeing check marks, and these check marks will kind of let you know you've completed these courses. Below that are the what are called the cognate courses. These are general education courses specifically required for social work students. Economics, Economics 101 or Economics 201. They have not updated this. If you take Economics 100, we will count it. You may just need to let me know. And then, of course, social work 250. And then you have a choice of taking either 2 courses in the foreign language requirement at the elementary level, like Spanish 101, 102, or 2 courses in the cultural and diversity elective. And so these courses right here that I'm highlighting, these are the courses that if you take them, they automatically count for cultural and diversity electives. This is what I have encouraged. If you have gone back to my prior video on advising, where we don't want you to really limit yourself on these courses. If you find a course that you feel like fits a cultural and diversity elective, you need to let us know. And most likely we will approve that course. And then I wind up having to do what's called a waiver or curriculum modification to get this to count. The reason we do this is because it takes us about a year and a half. We have to go through curriculum committee to get courses added into this cultural and diversity elective. And that would become a very just lengthy, kind of complicated list to go through. Some courses are offered once every 2 or 3 years. And so these are kind of the basic courses. So if you choose a course from these cultural and diversity electives, you're not going to go wrong. But if you see another course that you think would meet that, one of the examples I get is an English course, which is post-colonial literature. And so post-colonial literature, I will count as a cultural diversity elective. It will also count as a GLGN course. And since it's an English course, it'll count as a general literature course. So if you take a course like the English post-colonial development language, I don't know the exact name of it, but it's post-colonial development. It will meet 3 general education requirements, including the cultural and diversity elective. Now, I wanted to show you the minor in human development family studies. So if you're thinking about doing a minor, the what if analysis is a really great option to kind of look at that. Because as you can see with human development family studies, it's kind of a more rigid minor. You have to take human development family studies 211, 212, 321, 390, and then 6 hours in these other courses. Minors in like sociology and peace and conflict studies are a lot more flexible. As long as you're taking courses, then you should be fine. There's an option here that I want to kind of work with students, and bear with me, this may take a few minutes. So how I often have students look up courses is I will have you go to UNCG, go to UNC Genie, go to the class schedule. I've walked you through this before. Go through to fall schedule, and let's say you're looking up a general literature course, so a GLT, so general literature, and then you click search. And these are the general literature courses. So we're going to go with mythology. So you look at mythology here. Mythology is a global course and a general literature course. So it is a classical studies, which if I'm not mistaken is CCS 205. So this is a really neat kind of thing on degree works that I had learned about recently. So this area called Look Ahead, and it'll probably take us back to human development. So let's say, I think it's CCI or CCS. This may not be a good one, but let me check it anyway. So 205, let's try CCI 205, see if that works. And you click add course and then process new. Okay, there we go. So CCI 205 is a general literature course, and as you can see, the little squiggly line means that if you take CCI or Classical Studies and Mythology 205, it would meet the general literature requirement, and if you move down here, it would meet the global and global non-Western requirement. So the little squiggly line. So, and it says here plan. So you can kind of use this look ahead program, and you can enter more than one course. So we know that CCI 205 is a general literature course. So we're going to add that one. So let's go back over here. Let's do search again. Let's look at GFA, so General Fine Arts, because you need a General Fine Arts course also. And these are all the General Fine Arts courses. So we can kind of scroll down. And so here's a General Fine Arts, American Art History. I think that would be ART 110. Let's check and see if that's right. ART 110. Add that. So we've added 2 courses. We do the process. And it must not be ART 110. Okay, so let me find one that is easier. Sorry, art history, classic comedy. Am I in the fall? GFA, GLT. Let's look under GPR. And this is a good example because I know this gets kind of laborious, but this is really what you kind of have to do. I know it's easy to kind of send me an emails like, hey, could you pick a course for me? I don't have time to do that. We have 400 students in the program. And so you really have to kind of take the time to work through this and kind of figure the system out. And it's really going to be better for you because you're going to be able to pick courses that are going to fit with your schedule than trying to rely on me to suggest a lot of courses. I'm scrolling through because I want to get to the religion courses, because the religion courses are usually ones that meet a lot. So here's Introduction to Religious Study, which is REL 101, which is a GL and a GPR. So let's go back here. Let's do the look ahead again. So we know CCI 205 mythology will meet requirement. So REL, I think that is 101. So we'll add that course also. So you'll notice that there's 2 courses added. You process it. And here we go. So as you can see, the mythology course is the GLT, and it's meeting the general literature course. The REL is showing up, but you'll notice the box is still empty. The reason being is because you need 3 courses. So that confuses students a little bit. But if you go down and you look, the religion course, it was supposed to be a GLGN. But it's not doing it right now. Look at this again. GPRGL. But it's not showing up. So it doesn't always work great. But it does help you in some ways in trying to distinguish which courses will meet which requirement at a particular time. So as you can see, the REL course meets it is supposed to be a GLGN course. I think because this is not a real student, it's a little bit of a quirky DegreeWorks, but it should give you an idea of what you can do to kind of map out courses that you need, and you can do what's called the look ahead and see what courses will meet and what requirement that you're looking for. So going back to the worksheet, just to basically reinforce the things that you really need to look at are the number of hours that you need and the number of hours that you've completed. The thing that will really throw students off is just a reminder, most students need 15 hours of what are called free electives. And what that means is that these are courses that you can take, that any course that you're interested in as a free elective. That's why I often will tell students, if you really need a little bit more guidance, a minor will help you with that. So you may see all these green check marks and you think you've done everything you need to have done to complete the courses that you need, and this says 122 hours. It's not a really good one because most of you will be at 120. Let's go back to the social work one real quick. Nothing is done real quick on DegreeWorks, of course. Catalog year, BSW, process. So what will happen is you'll see all these green check marks and you think, I've done everything I need to do, and you will not have all the hours that you need. And so you need to, every semester, look at this DegreeWorks. I would just look at it on a regular basis and make sure you keep an eye on the number of hours you have, make sure the number of hours you need. I've shown you how to get to DegreeWorks, familiarize yourself with DegreeWorks. It tells you all the general education courses that you need. So, you know, if you're emailing me like, I don't know, do I need a general literature course? Basically what I do is I just look up your DegreeWorks. I see that the box is empty and I tell you you need a general literature course. Really need for students to really start to kind of get oriented in doing this themselves. This is taking ownership to your education. This is really taking responsibility, looking at this stuff. You can't rely on us to do this for all of our students. Like I said, we have a large number of students in the program. And so we don't mind going back and looking just to double check for most of us, most of the students. But, you know, if you're confused as to whether you need a general literature course or another math course or a historical perspective course, you just go to DegreeWorks and look at it, and it'll tell you right there. And just make sure you keep an eye on the number of hours that you need. That's pretty much it. If you have any other questions about DegreeWorks, just let me know. But that's all you need to do. Just kind of go through, find DegreeWorks, look at it, get oriented towards it, and then it can kind of help you continue on and staying on track with your education. So everybody, please stay safe. I hope you're all doing well, and hopefully we will see you all soon on campus. Thank you.